Jesse, let us get into our nitty gritty. What we're here to do, what we're here to talk about. We love our comic books.
Yes.
And Heroes World's a comic store, obviously, and a game store, hobby store, multi-purpose store. We carry so much cool stuff. But you and I are just big, huge comic fans. So we always like to bring you guys comic content, like what we are loving in comics. So this week's episode, we're going to do 2 comic-related things. We're going to talk about our comic spotlight of the week. So that's the one book Jesse and I both agree was just amazing and worthy of picking up. And we're also going to go back in time and check out what came out last week, just because, there's always so many books and we want to make sure that we give most of them their due. Obviously can't do everything, but when you can only pick one a week, there's some that definitely get left behind. So without further ado, our comic book spotlight of the week is Batgirls by DC Comics. And wow, what a stellar first issue. Let me speak for myself, but I'm pretty sure I'm speaking for Jesse here too. I've become a really big fan of, I think it's George Corona, who is the artist. And this is the guy who we just finished off with The Me You Love in the Dark. He did all the art for that. So he's doing the art for this. And this is just a fun, action-packed romp where we have got Cassandra Kane and Stephanie moving into a new building with Barbara Gordon, who's Oracle. And it's almost like this kind of, I don't want to say like slumber party or whatever, but it's kind of like this like, hey, we're moving in as roommates and let's have some fun. Let's see what our neighborhood's all about. And then of course, they're vigilantes. They're going to get in trouble. Cool thing about this book so far is they are integrating the stuff that has happened in recent, the Batman universe, where Oracle has been hacked, so she cannot rely on all her technology. So when they go to this neighborhood, they've basically got to do it old school. They've got to recon the area. They've got to set up low tech that can't be hacked. They even go out buying walkie-talkies, and I like those little touches. I think Becky Cloonan's doing the writing, so yeah, top-notch stuff. A lot of fun. It's a bright, colorful book. And it's got a lot of charm and a lot of humor in that. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed that first issue. What about you, Jess?
I really enjoyed it too. And you said it was like a slumber party, the book, and I would completely agree with that. It's like a slumber party mixed with you've seen the movie Step Brothers, right? There was that little scene where they're like, I get the top bunk, you get the bottom bunk. It's just a fun, playful comic. This week I also read Batman Imposter, which was really gritty, really tough to read. Not tough to read, but dark. And this one was just uplifting and fun. Barbara Gordon's like the mother figure, making dinner for the kids. What do you want for dinner tonight? We've got noodles, and we've got noodles, and we've got noodles. So you pick what noodles you want, right? Like
it was really cool because you get this. All their personalities come out. Like Cassandra Kane is she's not very vocal and she's very like to the point, and you got Stephanie Brown, who she's just like, bouncing all over the place. She's like, oh, you're so much fun. You're so cool. So you're really getting their vibes. This is the 2 covers here. The cover, I think it's B and C, and that's both done by the artist In Hyuk Lee. Fabulous other covers for it. But yeah, I got high hopes for this book. Traditionally DC's always had like Batgirl books and stuff, and they literally fluctuate so much in popularity. They're hot for a while and then they just kind of trail off. But hopefully they hit on something here by having these 3 fan favorite characters in it all the time. Maybe we'll get some of that Birds of Prey vibe, and hopefully that'll keep the book, consistently going. So definitely love it. Let's show some of those action scenes because the 2 of them fighting. Oh man, it was super cool. I think this is the one here. If we can pull that up, Jesse.
Before we move on, real quick, Cassandra Kane and Stephanie Brown you know where they come from, right? Stephanie Brown is the daughter of a, what's the criminal's name? What's
Oh,
his name? Sorry, I'll just go back a little bit here to the two of them.
yep,
Stephanie Brown is the one down there in purple, the one to
yep.
the
She's in purple.
left. Yep. So
Yep,
she's
she's
daughter of a.
formerly Spoiler, right?
Yep, and she's been kind of adopted into the Bat family, and she's been known to be girlfriends to Tim Drake, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
it's
yep.
Tim Drake, the newest Robin. Cassandra Kane, though, I don't really know much about her. Can you fill
Yeah,
me in a
so
little bit?
Cassandra Kane is the daughter of the assassin Kane and the other deadly assassin Shiva. She was trained since birth to be an assassin, so much so that she was never trained in language. So she was trained in body language. So that's what makes her like such an impressive fighter. Like she reads your body language, and there's no slowdown, there's no second guessing, because she can just see. So of course, when she runs into Batman and the Bat family, they take her in, and they kind of, I don't want to use the word deprogram her, but show her that there's more to life than just fighting. But there was a moment in her introduction when Batman was like, he was afraid to fight her, because she is, and she will be, probably the deadliest fighter in the DCU as she ages and gets better. But yeah, so she's a pretty cool character. I do really like that aspect when they talked about her being able to just read body language. But again, she's a trained killer, so all of these instincts she has to suppress by being the hero and being the vigilante, and it's what she's learned over her time with the Bat family. So she's a cool character. She went by the name of Orphan for a little while, and so there's a darkness to her and a little bit of a rough edge. But again, I'm sure we're going to see how that is just going to be part of how this book is written, and we're going to get those three different personalities and stuff. So,
At a little bit of a side note, I believe Stephanie Brown was in the Batwoman TV series. She made an appearance in one of the
cool.
episodes, helping out the Batwoman crew. But yeah, let's move on to the images. What do you think of the art? We both.
Yeah, honestly, I love it, and it is a little bit different than the Me You Love in the Dark. I think the color treatment is very much the same, but it's definitely a little bit more like cartoony and stylized here. So I really, really like it. I like how he plays with their capes. Sometimes you don't even know, like, how's the cape attached, but you know that it is part of that character, and I think it's almost like the capes themselves are going to be a character of their own, almost. Like, you look at how cool Stephanie's is. It's kind of big, but then you've got Cassandra's, and it just looks like a bat wing, and it looks a little bit more ominous. And then there's a cool fight scene where the two of them are like propelling off of each other, and so it's a very kinetic book. Yeah, just really, it's just super, super cool. Yeah, honestly, sometimes these books come out and they're new, and people don't want to give them a chance. They don't want to try them because it's kind of new or whatever. But I think these are not new characters, but it's a new scenario for those characters, and it's going to be a formula that works, and it's all about putting these characters into a new situation and seeing how they come up. But I just love this panel here. If we can make this one a little larger, I'll go to the full screen. Here we go. Yeah, like, look at that panel where Cassandra Kane is just propelling off of Stephanie's back to deliver the kick, and then you've got them kind of back to back. Yeah, so it's, again, super cool. So this book literally had everything. It was funny, it had some mystery, it had lots of action, and it drops, again, some templates for where they're going to be going forward after this. So yeah, so honestly, another top pick. Sometimes for us, it's we have to decide what book we're going on, and it takes a little while. But I think this week we both were flipping through the books on Tuesday when they came in, and we're like, wow, this looks really good. Let's read this one. And then we're like, oh man, yeah. So highly recommend it. Check it out at your local comic book store, or come and get a copy from us if you're interested. We've got tons at the store, and more of the variant covers coming in because I don't think I ordered enough of those ones.
Before we move on, though, you said Tuesday. Did something special happen on Tuesday?
Oh yeah.
Do you want to, without spoiling anything and getting too in details? I was there. I know what happened. Tell everybody else watching right now what happened.
All right, so we had a marvelous customer come by, and if you guys are following us on social media, check us out on our Instagram at Heroes World Online or our Facebook Heroes World Online, and you're going to see a picture of myself and an Avenger, shall we say, a up and coming MCU hero. So definitely check that out. Leave a comment there, and we'll talk probably a little bit more about that next week. But that was probably made my week, maybe my couple of weeks there. And the cool thing is, it's like now we can say there's Heroes World has a connection to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So that's super, super cool.
And a little bit to add to that is, didn't this person kind of make us honorary Avengers? Kind of, a little bit. Not to brag or anything, but
it can be interpreted that way.
Yes.
So I like that. I like that for sure. So yeah, so check out our Instagram. If you don't already follow us, please do so, or definitely check us out on Facebook and YouTube. Of course, if you're here on Twitch, you know where to find us here. But lots of stuff to see on our Instagram page, which is growing very rapidly too. So you want to get on that.